Hey guys, so it's the end of the year, and I wanted to make a video to kind of capture this year in just a few words. Actually, it'll probably be a lot of words because you guys know I'm not short about anything. I'm very long-winded about everything that I do. But I wanted to make a video talking about my journey this year and how moving to this area, to the Walt Disney World area, to the Universal area, saved my life. And I just want to just go into detail about this and go back like a couple of years and just bring you to this point right now. If you guys have been following my journey this year, you know that I have lost a significant amount of weight, over 140 pounds this year. And we're going to talk about it. And we're also going to talk about the fact of how moving here can change your life and just impact you within reasons and ways that you wouldn't even think it would. So let's get into it. So come on and join me. I see the blue sky trying to come out as it's a rainy day here in the Celebration area here in Florida. So every once in a while, like every 6 months or so, I like to do a little walk and talk video about where we're at and what the plan is for the channel for the rest of the year. We're not going to do really much of that today. We're just going to talk about what I've been through, and hopefully like my story can inspire you guys if you are really thinking about maybe moving to this area. Maybe it'll help you to do so, and maybe it'll keep you from it if you are like on the edge and you don't really know if you want to. But I'm just sharing my experience and what has changed me and what has changed my life. So back in 2019, well, let's back up a little further, 2018. Actually, let's back up even further than that. So it's going to be more than 4 or 5 years. We're going to go 10 years. So let's go 10 years back. So I was in a band, a Christian metal band called Beyond Bethel, and we were doing okay, you know. We had put out a record. We were working on our second album, and it was going okay. Some things had happened where we were just not clicking together anymore, and it was just scheduling and everyone wanting to do something a little different. It's like no one's fault really. It was just we were all in different points of our life. Some members were getting married, moving away, doing different careers. And at the time, my brothers and I were taking care or caring for my mom, who had suffered a stroke, and she had kidney failure, and she was essentially going to dialysis like every day. And so for that, you know, it took up a lot of our time. And at the time, I was in my late 20s at the time. And so I felt like a lot of my life was just kind of put on hold. I couldn't really do anything. The dating scene was not fun, trying to take care of your mom and then also trying to meet Miss Right, you know. And so I really, what I'm trying to get to started then. And I started packing on the weight then because I just got sad, and I just, you know, knew that food was like my biggest comfort, if that makes sense. And that was like the thing that really was there, and I just didn't calorie count. I didn't do anything like that. And so I started just gaining weight, and I noticed that, you know, I was in a XL t-shirt, and then, which was fine for me at the time. And then I noticed that I had bumped all the way up to a 3X, and my pants could no longer fit. I was working in insurance at the time, and my pants no longer fit. I could not get them on. I had to order new pants. And right around that time, my mom was like, hey, like, I'm not healthy, but you need to get healthy for yourself. And my mom was not a big woman. She was not. She was, in her days, she was a really small lady, but she ended up having diabetes, and she had a stroke and then kidney failure as a result of diabetes and the stroke. And then in 2014, November 2014, she passed away. And of course, that was a part of my life that was really, really hard to go through. Because at the time, I was the only one working. Well, Joey was working too, but we were combining incomes together. My older brother was staying at home and watching my mom all the time. And so we had no like extra income. She passed away right before her government check came in, which paid for our rent every month. She passed away and we had none of that. And so as a result of that, like to kind of speed things up, for 2 years, we stayed in Tennessee, and it just wasn't a good time. Like, we didn't have any money whatsoever. We couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out on dates. I couldn't go see a movie. Couldn't do anything. I was just a real depressed person at the time. And so my sister called me up. She's like, hey, she's like, why don't you move here with me? You guys can save up some money, and when you're ready, you can go do your own thing. And so, because I'm very prideful sometimes, and I was a bit reluctant to do so, I ended up doing it. And I will always be thankful to my sister for doing that for me and my brothers and letting us live there. So anyway, we lived with her for a couple of years. Everything was going great. Everything was good. But guess what? I had tons of money. Well, not tons, but I had more money than I ever had. And so every day for lunch, I would go out to like Sonic, Panda Express, all that stuff. And I'm getting to the point, I promise. So I just started really packing on the weight. So I was up at a 3X shirt. Then 3X was like squeezing into like a small little tube, but I could still make it work. We went on a family trip to Las Vegas. And when we went on that family trip to Las Vegas, it was starting to become a reality to me that how big I was getting, because I went to go get on the plane and I needed a seatbelt extender. I could not fit on the plane. And they had to bring a seatbelt extender out. Very embarrassing. If you've ever been through that kind of stuff, you know, like it's very, very embarrassing. Anyway, so, and I do have pictures that I will probably pop in here and show you guys just where I was at. But at the time, I just started a new job that a friend of mine had told me about, and I met Angie at that job, and which was awesome. And so Angie and I were just talking, you know, for a couple of months. We went on the family vacation. We're home after vacation. It was around like Thanksgiving. Came home, things were going really well. Angie and I were talking about getting married because we worked together. We saw each other every day. And we just fell in love, and it was just really a quick thing that I was not expecting. But when God has a plan, you just step out of the way and you just let him move, because that's the only thing I could do at this point. And I was very stubborn at first. Angie always teases me. I was very stubborn because I'd just gotten out of a relationship like not even a year before that. And so I started talking to Angie. We were dating for like 3 months. I shared a room with my older brother, Josh. And I woke up one night and I'm gonna need some help to get through this one. I woke up one night, he was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I just feel this like burning my chest. I have heartburn and I just can't get rid of it. And I said, well, I was like, go in there and take you some Pepto-Bismol. You know, didn't think anything of it because he used to sit up in the middle of the night like that, you know? And so he's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom, and I hear a really loud crash in the bathroom. And I don't know what it is, you know. I'm like, whatever. And if you're watching this for the first time, you're just like, what is this guy talking about? Whatever. I'm leading all this to get into this. I hear a loud crash in the bathroom, and I go to the bathroom. The bathroom door is locked. I can't get in. And I'm like, why did you lock the door? I'm yelling, like, why did you lock the door? Open the door, open the door. What's going on? Well, little did I know that the bathroom door wasn't locked. It was actually his body laying in front of the door. And I didn't plan on talking about this, but I feel like I told Angie, I was like, I'm just going to go out here. I'm just going to film a video and just talk about all the reasons why I'm at where I'm at and how I got here. So anyway, we call 911. They come, they bring all their equipment, and they say, you know, hey Josh, we think that you had a heart attack. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, he seems fine, because he got up and walked out on his own. Everything was okay. And he got on the gurney, and he was on the gurney, and he looked at me and gave me a look like, shut up. Like, don't say anything. Don't make fun of me, you know, kind of thing. And little did I know that would be the last time that I saw my brother. And I don't say this like to like get emotional and to have sympathy. I feel like I have to go through all the stages to get to, you know, where I'm at right now. I'm going to try to keep this under 20. We'll try. I don't know if we'll get there, but we'll try. And we got to the hospital, and we waited around for like 2 hours. We're like, what the heck is going on, you know? And they come out, and the first thing the lady says is, hey, we can't get a pulse. And she just said it like so naturally, like nothing was going on, nothing was happening. Like, what do you mean? Like, and then they come and tell us that he had passed away, which was a shock. You know, rewind 20 years before that, my dad passed away in a car accident. Something just dropped on my head. 20 years before that, my dad passed away in a car accident. It was sudden. With my mom, it wasn't as much of an impact because we knew it was coming. Like, it was a slow thing, but we knew it was coming. Still sad. It still depressed me, you know, for a long time. But my brother passing away really did something to me. It was life-changing. He was my best friend in the world. We had a career together that we were trying to pursue, and all that happened And it's like, what the heck? You know, we were trying to get into filmmaking. We were in a band together, but then we were trying to get into filmmaking together. That was like our new thing. And I didn't notice, like, through the months, like, now that I go back and think about it, I noticed through the months that he didn't want to do anything. He was sick. As a response, he didn't get checkups. He had diabetes, and he passed away due to a heart attack because of the diabetes. That's what ended up happening. And so it got me really thinking, you know, about myself, and like if diabetes is genetic and all that stuff. I mean, we're not going to get into all that kind of thing and stuff, but it was something that, you know, the doctor looked at us that night and he was like, you know, here I am, probably, you know, 400 plus pounds at the time, sitting in this area. My brother just passed away from diabetes due to a heart attack, and he's just kind of looking at me and kind of like, without saying it, was like, you know, you guys might want to be better about taking care of your health. On a typical day, I would go out to breakfast to Chick-fil-A, have 2 or 3 biscuits in the morning. For lunch, I would have like Panda Express or Sonic, 2 sandwiches there, like 2 of the little chicken sandwiches, and come home for dinner and just have whatever. And you know, it is what it is. But thank God for Angie at the time, because Angie was there and was able to help comfort me and help me. And we went through some things, and 2 months later, I asked her to marry, or a month later, I asked her to marry me. And then 2 months after that, we were married. We were married on June the 1st, 2019. And so that was like one of those kind of things, like it was so fast and so crazy. But once we got married, it didn't resolve the issues. You know, it didn't fix my issues on the inside. I was still super depressed. I was still eating like crazy. And then I also started influencing her to eat bad, and she has never eaten bad in her whole life. And then she started gaining weight, not the way that I did, but she gained enough to make herself feel self-conscious. And so I had gotten to the point where we went on vacation and you know, to Disney World for our honeymoon, because we didn't get to go right away. And then here's where I'm getting to finally the point, 15 minutes in. I'm so sorry. But I'm finally getting to the point that she told me before we went, she said, babe, you can barely walk, you know, 20 feet without your back hurting. She's like, are you sure you're going to do this? I said, babe, I've been to theme parks before. I'm fine. I can do whatever. So anyway, we got really excited about the trip. We started looking up YouTube videos, found our buddy PC Dev and some others that we like, and Adam the Woo, all those guys, and started watching their videos of them going to the parks, you know, and stuff, and got pretty excited about it, you know. And I'm like, man, like, you know, I felt like I knew the parks pretty well before I even got there. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be easy. We get there. Our first day is at Epcot, and if you guys know where the bus loading area is at Epcot, I walked from there to the to where the trash cans are by the bus loading area, and I had to stop and sit down on a bench very similar to this one. I sit down on the bench, and Angie's like, babe, you're not going to make it like this. Like, you're going to have to push yourself. She's like, if you're stopping at the bus stop already, you're not going to make it. And I was very inactive. I worked a job. At the time, I wasn't working from home yet, but I worked a job that we were just sitting. I was the supervisor at this job, and I was one of the supervisors, and I was sitting a lot and not being active at all. And so we got through the first of it, and then I'll post a picture here that I took right as we walked into Spaceship Earth, into Epcot and Spaceship Earth. It's a little different looking now, but a little different. Anyway, so that ended up happening, and the whole time there, it was pain. I got a blister on my foot. I had to rent a ECV because I had a blister on my foot. I couldn't walk with a blister on my foot, let alone walk just because I was so fat. And it got me home, and it got me thinking, you know what, just whatever, whatever. I'll be all right. I'll lose some weight. I'll do fine. It'll be all right. And I get home, and I went back and did exactly the same thing. Although I did change it up. I started doing keto, and I did change it up just a little bit, but not like a ton. So as a result of that, a little bit later on, Angie and I, because of the situation going on in the world at the same time, we started working from home, and we asked our job if we could work from home, but if I could move back home to Tennessee, because that's where I wanted to be. Or so I thought that's where I wanted to be. Ended up not being bad. I mean, we moved there. It is what it is. Things happened, and then we got really bored because there was nothing to do. So we'd been watching all these vloggers, right? And Angie came to me one day, and I was trying to do a gaming thing at the time, which was going nowhere. It was just crap, Angie came to me one day. She's like, what if we started vlogging? What if we started vlogging about our life and about what's going on here in Tennessee and stuff? So we started doing it. We'd go to Dollywood every other week. We would try to find a mountain to go hike or whatever. You guys, the videos are still up. You can go find those. And it just wasn't enough, So I remember we went to this place. It was like a 10 Commandments, written into the wall in North Carolina. It was an hour or 30 minutes to an hour away. We went and did that. And we'd been visiting Orlando a lot up until that point. We were going every couple of months, and it was starting to rack up money. We were spending $500 to $1,000 every time we'd go because we were annual pass holders, so we were fine. Whatever. And so I was like, what do you think about moving to Orlando? And both of us were like, I don't know, I'm pretty scared. The more we talked about it, the more we were like, yeah, let's do it. So anyway, before we moved, we had made the decision to move. And then the Velocicoaster at Universal Orlando was having pass holder previews. And I said, I'm going to lose enough weight so I can ride that. This was in 2021. I'm going to ride it. We get there, and I go to the test seat. I can't even fit in the test seat. And I'm like, great. Fast forward to the next year, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opens. I'm worried about fitting on the test seat over at Epcot. I fit. I'm able to ride. I go every weekend because it's my only roller coaster that I can ride. And it's sweet. Awesome. And then Tron opened. And I guess I just let myself go a little bit more. Then started gaining more weight. Family came in. I couldn't fit on Guardians of the Galaxy anymore. Tron opened. I couldn't fit on the Tron bike. Okay, cool. So now Disney World, is more forgiving, more fluffy friendly, as they say. But I can't fit on two of the most popular attractions. Actually, three of them, including Flight of Passage. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know. Now, with regards to that, Flight of Passage is a little tougher to get, and so is Tron with the bike. It is what it is. Go all this time, can't do it. And so I started losing weight a little bit at the beginning of 2024. Lost some. Enough to where I could ride Guardians with my family when they came. And then, so we were just kind of talking about how I could get motivated, how I could lose weight. My sister had given me some options, some things we could do, because she had lost a ton of weight, and congrats to her for that, it's impressive. And it just motivated me in the minute, like in the moment. I'm here. I can't ride any of the big attractions at Universal Orlando. I can't ride anything at like all of the attractions at Disney World. Something has to change and something has to give. Because I'm going to die if I don't change my life, if I don't do it. And people can say what they want to, but when you're heavier, people don't take you as serious sometimes. They really don't. In the vlogging community, people were always kind, and they're still always kind, you know? But I feel like you don't get taken serious by the viewer when you weigh more than the typical viewer. And also when you're not even trying to gear your channel towards that, you're just pretending that you're fit, not letting the audience know you can't fit on certain attractions. Not that I ever deceived you guys, not that I ever said that I could fit, because I openly told you guys that I couldn't, but I just didn't mention it. I wouldn't talk about it. Because it's better not to talk about it, right? And so in April of this year, I said, you know what? Here we go. I made a video in January, and I said, of this year, and I said, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to ride Velocicoaster by December 31st. And I started working my butt off. I started working really hard in April to get to this point. I was eating less than 1,200 calories a day at the time. And I just started really, really working my butt off. Working out every day, going for a run or walk every day. I have slowed down a little bit since the holidays have been here as far as that, but working my butt off, trying really hard to get to the point to where I could ride attractions. I went to my stepson's wedding, and when I was there and took pictures, I was just like feeling so fat, and that was in October. Got the pictures back, and I'm like, you know what? I don't look bad. I don't look bad. And then the crazy thing started happening where I didn't notice how much I was losing, but everyone else was noticing. I started getting compliments and people saying, man, you like look completely different. Vlogging friends I'd run into that I hadn't seen in months. Bro, I didn't recognize you. You look completely different. And then in October 17th, I got to ride Velocicoaster for the first time. And I've ridden it countless amount of times since then. I got to ride Hagrid Motorbike Adventure on the same day. I just fit into Green Dots and just fit into Forbidden Journey. Most of my clothes on me now are baggy. I have to buy some new clothes. So the whole point of this whole video and getting to that point was moving here changed my life. It saved my life. Universal Orlando more than anyone, and I know that this title of this video is about Disney World because Disney World contributed to it, but Universal Orlando changed my life. It saved me because it gave me the motivation to lose the weight and to fit on attractions with my family. You know, my family would come down and I would just sit on a bench like this, you know, just sit and wait. And sometimes it was a 2-3 hour wait when they would come down. What would I do? Go get me a snack. Be big back, as they say. And just wait. And didn't get to have that fun and that conversation with them because I was so fat that I didn't even want to stand in the queues with them, you know? So my point of this video is to say that if you are really thinking about moving to this area, do it. Do it. It will change your life. And it won't only change your life like healthy wise. This is why I moved. This is my version of this, of why I came here. It saved my life. because it gave me the motivation to change it. But it also could save yours if you're going through depression, or if you are just don't understand why you're depressed. I see people all the time that want to move here. I talked to a lady in the Epic Universe Preview Center the other day. She said, I'm just scared. She's like, my life sucks in Washington. And she's like, I just scared. I said, just do it. I promise you won't regret it. It's going to be hard. You know, it's going to be financially, it's way more expensive to live here. There's uncertainty. If you have dogs, and that's a whole different video on its own of us trying to find a place because of our dogs, you know, and stuff. But just do it. That's my 2024 ending message to you this year. It's just go for it. Just, if you're thinking about moving here, just do it. Take the risk. You get one life. It's worth doing it. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I love living here. I love being here with my wife. I love my life. And I don't regret at all moving here whatsoever. So hopefully I'm a encouraging person for you today. Hopefully, you know, like I can give you that motivation to pull the trigger to move here. Yes, a lot of people live here. Yes, it's expensive, but you can do it. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of jobs here. There is a lot of things to do here. You will never be bored. There always will be something. It's more than just a movie theater and a bowling alley, which a lot of towns have. There's a lot more to do, and I love it. And I love you guys. So thank you so much for watching us this year. One more video for 2024 after today. But it's not like we're not going to make videos like a couple of days after that. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for the best year on YouTube yet. And next year is going to be even bigger and better. I believe it. I think we're going to hit over 20,000 subscribers next year. I really think it's going to happen. Love you guys. Remember, the road goes ever on. I will see you next time.